You know what, we might as well do everything we can on Christmas Day, so I'm gonna go to the arcade. Guess give a present to one of my personas, which in some ways is Gary Stu giving a present to himself. But yeah, originally I was going to say that I feel bad for the arcade staff having to work at night on Christmas, and then I realised, oh wait, it's not a public holiday in Japan, so that's actually pretty normal. And I actually did do a prior take where I failed for a fairly silly reason, so I know that it's Mole Whackers, and I know that I want to give the boost to Thor because, I don't know, I like a little bit more accuracy. So yeah, let's stay until midnight. Stay until it's no longer Christmas. And tomorrow is actually kind of interesting. I have a few things to say about tomorrow when it comes to just, how it affects me personally. Just, you know, more personal anecdotes, given that this is kind of a social simulator. So, the day after Christmas, the 26th of December, I know that in Australia as what's called Boxing Day. And I looked up to make sure that, because I had a suspicion that it didn't exist in America. It turns out I was true. It's not in America. Second last day of semester. And we still have to go to school. But yeah, it's originally British, and so it's only celebrated by countries that used to be part of the British Empire, which technically also was America, but they kind of violently distanced themselves from that. Anyway, though, Boxing Day is an interesting holiday in Australia, because it's also the opposite of cold. Oh yeah, and I should also talk about New Year's in Japan, that'll be later. But New Year's, in a lot of ways, is actually very similar to Western Christmas in that it's a day for getting presents. Anyway, Boxing Day in Australia is, because we don't have Black Friday here, it's basically the main shopping holiday. That's the day where everywhere has enormous sales. It's also really jerkish, because it's like, hey, we'll sell everything at full price in the lead up to Christmas when everyone is actually buying, and now that it's after Christmas, well, haha, let's reduce everything, because we know nobody wants to buy stuff anymore. So, it's pretty mean, but that's what happens. Ah. Once again, another one of those where you get the option to sleep. I get the feeling that falling asleep in a kotatsu would be really, really painful. They're not exactly the same thing. A futon is like a bedroll, and the kotatsu is like a heater with a blanket over the top of it. Yeah, exactly. That could be a very bad thing. But anyway, Boxing Day in Australia is also pretty much the movie day. Probably because it's just so hot in summer, but a lot of big films tend to be released on Boxing Day. I'm pretty sure all of the Lord of the Rings films were Boxing Day releases here. I guess so. And we'll not be heading out of school because we'll actually be seeing Mitsuru today. And yet, people still can't decide what the origin of the term Boxing Day was. Some people think it refers to unboxing of certain Christmas presents, and it's thought that the day after Christmas was when the servants in the household would get their presents, so they would open their boxes on that day. People still don't really know. It's also a religious holiday called St. Stephen's Day, but the term Boxing Day I don't think has anything to do with that. We are actually going to be seeing Mitsuru today. I was wrong about seeing Moon, and tomorrow we're not seeing Moon either. Monday we are, but not either of these 2 days. Speaking of spending time with Mitsuru, I have actually read stuff that I was researching for the Christmas stuff, and apparently some things say you need to be at least rank 4 in a social link before you're able to spend Christmas Eve with them. Which makes sense, but yeah, I've heard stories of some people who actually had to miss out on any of the events because they just hadn't started any of the romantic social links by that point. Back in the library, we haven't really seen it from this angle before. Can I get a book for you is the best thing to say here. Even though it's like such a short bookcase, she could very easily get it herself. Yeah. Something's bothering her about this. And yeah, we now realize why we saw earlier on with this cinema when she was talking about how there's a lot of films that just don't go into the life after the happily ever after. What are you sacrificing? Oh. Yeah, you said before that your parents' marriage was arranged. Not for you. Both of these are kind of similar, but this is the one that gives the most points. And she hasn't told anyone about this yet. I remember, but... you have to reconsider is, again, the best option here. It is hard being able to leave the company alone, but I'm sure she'd be able to do that, and, well, this suddenly took a very different direction. She doesn't have to get into an arranged marriage just to save the company. Surely there has to be another way. And yes, I may have subtly, or very unsubtly, hinted at this earlier. But this is rank 6 of the Empress Arcana, and no wonder this link hasn't turned romantic yet. That would obviously be a big problem for that whole arranged fiancé thing. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it is. So, rank 6. That is actually quite fast. That would make her the... okay, so, after... I think that actually puts her time with Yukari, because Chihiro is the quickest to go into the jealousy state, and then Mitsuru's pretty fast too. Well, at least this will convince her to definitely reconsider that, which really doesn't sound like a good idea.
Welcome back.
And that's kind of weird considering you were going through some pretty depressing stuff. Yeah, not just what's coming up, but also your own personal life. So everyone's slowly coming to their decisions. Yeah, I suppose so. He was the one who screwed this up in the first place. Then Ikutsuki went and followed him and screwed it up even further. Okay, I think everyone's pretty much saying the same kind of stuff here, except Mitsuru. Those kind of robberies, it kind of makes sense that happened, but it's still pretty sad. So, anyway, I think we can afford to just, actually, no! We have a walk tonight, I just realized. Keep forgetting about them, but I did not forget that time. For some reason, the walk this time just says Koromaru. So it's probably just a unique walk event for him. It's been a while since we've seen a generic walk for him, but... yeah, in this one, no other social links show up, it's just Koromaru. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's kind of hilarious in hindsight, considering a certain game that came out many years after this one. So, yeah, Koromaru's made his decision too, it seems. Sadly, we don't have Igus here to translate for him. When will Aigis be back? It's been so long. She's probably got the biggest absence from the party out of anyone, because pretty much every party member has gone through at least some phase where they're not playable, but... Oh yeah, by the way, this is also the end of term, yay. Of course, this being a Japanese school calendar and not the one that I'm used to, this isn't as big of a break as, like I said, the winter vacation or holidays in Australia is basically the big end-of-year break, so it goes on for quite a while. But today's Sunday, and you know what that means? More plot events, it seems.
Huh? Junpei-kun?
Oh, hey, Fuka.
What are you doing here?
Nothing, really. I come here when I'm feeling down.
Is that Chidori's sketchbook?
Yeah. This is where I first met her. What are you doing here, Fuka?
Oh, I went home for a bit. I've been going back there a lot lately.
I see. You know, you've really changed, Fuka. You're totally different from when you first came to the dorm.
Really?
Yeah, you were so timid back then. But now you're so... strong.
You've changed too, Junpei-kun.
Yukaton said the same thing. But I don't think so.
Really? You have had the most character development of anyone in the entire game, and you don't think so? Really?
I mean, just the other day I got all freaked out about being scared. I am such a wuss.
That's not true.
But I really was scared. Actually, I'm still scared. But after thinking about it, I realized that I don't want to lose my memory. If I forget everything, that means I'll forget Chidori too. And I wouldn't even be alive right now if it wasn't for her, you know? So I say F that.
You're scared because you're not running away. That's nothing to be ashamed of.
Fuka.
That's why I want to protect everyone. Think about it. The Dark Hour is really scary too, isn't it? But our persona's awakened, and we're here today. The future hasn't been decided yet, and I want to be true to myself.
True to yourself. You're really something, Fuka. We should fight.
I agree.
I love Junpei's performance in this game so much. It's so good. Anyway, what I was going to say is that means Tanaka, but that kind of ruined that. In a good way, because that was a great scene. I love all these scenes that we're getting, where everyone is just really shows their development throughout the story, and just makes you feel so awesome leading up to this final moment. What do we got today? Okay, that's actually pretty good. And 10 mind supplements. Hey, those things, which don't restore your SP. We do have quite a bit of money. I could get back one of my ultimate personas for that much, but I'm gonna go for this because I want to know what the silver plate is. The police station isn't selling that either. Just realizing the typical delivery time of Tanaka stuff is actually beating the delivery time of my copy of Persona 5, and that really annoys me. I also recently found out that while we did not get the physical version of the PS3 Persona 5 in Australia, they are still doing the digital version. Although I'm actually paying less for it, importing it from the UK, which is kind of even with shipping, so that really says something about Australian prices. Anyway, on the next episode of Phoenix Ranger, Featherman R, episode 45, Hot Cocoa of Victory! Find the demon robot's opening and defeat it! That's another very weird one. I'm sorry, but that's not gonna work. Okay, that's all new, but you have a completely different expression there because this is your casual winter clothes. Seems like everyone knows what they're gonna decide, though. It's pretty obvious. So yes, today we are actually seeing the Sun Social Link for once. Seems like we just generally don't do Sunday dates very often. Probably because, in fact, I'll have to check ahead in the guide to see if we do go on a Sunday date with Mitsuru or not. Mitsuru's link seems to progress a lot faster than the others, probably because you get to it so late into the game. I guess if it progressed any slower, it might have been unbeatable, so they had to make sure that they compensated. Oh no. Oh, that's not good. And another one of those cases where rejecting him makes you feel like a complete jerk. In a lot of ways, we can kind of relate to Akinari right now. Oh, it seems particularly bad today. So yeah, that was actually the best option here. Even though the best option doesn't really matter. That's clearly not the best option for you. These are pretty much saying the same thing. But that's really not going to be good for you in the long run. I mean, everyone goes through writer's block when they're writing something, but this is pretty heavy. I'm sure he'll find something. Level 8 in the Sun Arcana. We're getting there. In some ways, that might be a metaphor for this whole thing. We are approaching the end of the Sun Social Link. And now I'm getting depressed, so let's take our mind off of that by, everyone probably... Well, people are a lot less depressed in the dorm now, which is good.
Hi, how was your day?
You seem to have a pretty good day today. So, yeah, everyone is doing pretty well, I think. It's great just seeing how morale has risen since the all-time low of the previous full moon. Don't get too hasty, Junpei, though. And we can still go to Tartarus. Yeah, in a lot of ways, sorry to go on a weird tangent here, but I quite like how fear was portrayed in Inside Out, actually. Like in that one, it showed how important fear is as sort of a sort of self-preservation instinct. And you're still saying the same stuff. What about you? Yeah, same stuff. Anything new from Ken? Oh, actually, it is something new. Well, I mean, doesn't mean that you can't drink hot chocolate. I mean, there's nothing really stopping you. So, since it's been a few days, I guess I should probably say, we do have another Koromaru walk tonight. Yeah, we're getting a lot of these. So, I'll see you back here for that. And then, after today, we'll be getting into a really big stretch, not quite as big as that one Star Blitz, but of the Moon Arcana. We will be doing quite a few ranks of that. In fact, we'll be doing straight Moon until... until New Year, actually. In fact, it continues even further than New Year, until one day after New Year. So, yeah, that's a lot of Moon. So, see you for Moon. Hey guys, guess who forgot another Koromaru walk and had to edit it in post? Yeah, after I promised that I wouldn't forget any more of these, I did. This one is for Junpei, so let's see it. Can't believe I forgot Junpei is one of all people, but yeah, that's what happened. Actually, it is pretty freezing where I live at the moment too. Yeah, I thought this would be about the decision. Oh yeah, it's about the conversation those two had. Kind of interesting to see Junpei and Fuka interacting, because they're a pair that just generally doesn't interact all that much in this game. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, we return to your regularly scheduled footage. So, I thought we might go and just do another arcade stat boost. Because, hey, we actually are kind of running out of time in the game to do that, now I think about it. Eventually, I will use my stat boosting cards, but yeah, I prefer to save those for personas that I know are going to be my absolute endgame personas. Because otherwise, they're kind of wasted. I mean, stats do not affect anything passed down through fusion. Only skills do. Okay, it's all three of them. What do I want then? Let's see. Who do I want to give a boost to? Thanatos, I've got Thor here. Don't really need to use... Like, I'm not really using a bad for stats. Kind of feel like giving either Thor or Siegfried a strength boost. Let's do that. So let's go for the punching bag. Pretend the bag is Nyx. Something that I should mention is that when I was recording Fire Emblem Fates, it was just so tempting to make Persona 3 references with the character Nyx and Fates. So I was just like, okay, can't do that because that would be a huge spoiler for this game and I haven't anywhere nearly got to that part yet. So it took a lot of effort to resist that. But yeah, the Nyx in this game, the Nyx in Fates is clearly the exact opposite of unbeatable because, yes, she is extremely frail. And we're on summer break now, although for some reason the Moon Link is still available, so that's what we're going to be doing. Only 3 more days left. Wonder what our dorm mates are doing in their vacation time. Wonder if Fuka will be able to see Natsuki at some point here. Okay, no new dialogue from you. I'm guessing all the dialogue here is going to be pretty similar. Yeah, that's the same. I forgot the Koromaru walk again. I'm going to have to reload a save. Good thing I saved that night. That is fitting. Is this like psychic news or something? Okay then. I don't even know what that's referring to. Okay, that's new. Yeah, everyone has. Well, I know Yukari has. Junpei has too. So has Fuka. Everyone. It's taking a really long time. Well, I guess she will be back soon, actually. Just, I'm pretty sure that by the time that she is back, we won't be able to go to Tartarus. Which is a shame, because that means I'm going to need to grind her quite a bit once we get her back. I wish there was some kind of an experience boosting item in this game. There actually is one in Persona Q, but not in this game. Anyway, Polonium Mall is where Nozomi hangs out. So let's continue with his link, which it does get pretty bizarre. If rank 2 is any indication. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, he's actually mentioning why he still wears the school uniform even during holidays. That's actually pretty interesting. I've said interesting a lot. Kind of like how they lampshade that he's still wearing the school uniform. I guess they just couldn't really bother to do a casual clothes portrait of him. So will this rank be as weird as the last one? Back at Hagakure. Looks like there's an exact clone of Nozomi, just with different coloured hair. So those were just appetizers, and now we're having even more ramen. Oh, is he a special regular here? Dun 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 noodles. Oh, this must be the secret... one of the secret menu items, yeah. It actually seems kind of shady now I think about it. Gyarasu is now privy to even more secrets. And once again, no dialogue options at all until the rank up. Some ways it makes sense because the dialogue options always count towards the next rank and not the current one. But yeah, rank 3 of Moon, quite an uphill battle, but by the time this big string of seeing him is over, we'll be at rank 7. It's weird, we abandon him for so long and then we suddenly do almost his entire link at once. Of course, this is the one that he likes better. And so, more eating. Wasn't quite as weird as rank 2, but it does get weirder.
Hi, how was your day?
Yeah, I can tell by the interface. And I'm pretty sure everyone's still going to be saying, yeah, pretty similar stuff. And let me just quickly check to see if there's a walk today that I missed. Yep, no. No walk today. In fact, no walks for quite a while. Oh, the one I missed was Junpei. That's annoying. Of course, if you're watching this, you will have already seen that, because I will have gone back and re-recorded it. So, for now, yeah, let's just head back to our room and get ready for our next spend time session. Well, not literally a spend time session, because we'll actually be ranking it up, but our next time spending time with Nozomi. As we get closer and closer to the fated decision. Though I will want to just do one quick visit to Tartarus before we get there. Huh, actually, from stuff I read, Aigis comes back on the 30th, and we need to make the decision on the 31st. Actually, maybe we might be able to grind Aigis a little bit. That may have been a bit of a spoiler, but we're almost there anyway. So today, once again, we will be leaving the dorm, and we will be heading all the way to Nozomi, so, I guess I can check to see if there's anything new going on in the dorm, but there probably isn't at this point. December 29th, we're almost there, just a few more days. Anything new from you? No. See, it's just so easy to assume that no one's going to be saying anything new, and then they might actually do say something new, so I have to talk to them all anyway. Doesn't look like it now, though. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Tsuru's all the way over here now. And still not saying anything new. And the news is not having much interesting on this point, because it's all just apathy syndrome. If this was at a time when Twitter stuff was popular, hashtag apathy syndrome would probably be trending for months now. But anyway, time to see Nozomi again. It's another stretch of them where the responses look kind of weird, out of context. There's two that seem almost exactly the same. If you read the guide, you'll know what I'm referring to. I think one of them is today? We'll see. You saying anything new? Yeah. Exact same stuff. Oh yeah, by the way, today is the deadline for pretty much all of the Tartarus quests that we have at this point, so good thing we've already finished them. See, I like how, unlike the Mitsuru hint guy, he doesn't say the same thing about his uniform after you've already seen it once. And more food. We pretty much have a tour of all the restaurants for this one. Yeah, this is all the way back from the first one. It's like, oh, hey, you can be the guy who makes me look better. Well, another girl who's head over heels for Gary Sue, like always. Well, I mean, you got a point there. Doesn't Professor Oak write those in the anime? Well, that's not good. And we have two separate ranks of this where you have to say something similar to this. Yeah, he does seem to eat way too much. Eating to the point of making yourself throw up is, well, this is kind of Captain Obvious, but not healthy. And so another rank up for Moon. I like it's actually called the Gourmet King Social Link. So this is, again, not all that amazing, but it does get weird later on.
Sup, dude?
Almost here. Yeah, that can't be too hard, right? So I think everyone should be saying pretty much the same stuff. Yukari's all the way out here. Is she saying anything new? No. So yeah, tonight is the night to go to Tartarus if you need to finish off some requests. But just in case we can't go tomorrow, I'm going to be saving tonight anyway. So, just one more day until Until we have to make the choice. Oh, and of course our thing from Tanaka arrives now. There's the silver plate. If we get the opportunity to go to Tartarus tomorrow, we'll actually be able to see what that does. I also need to re-equip Koromaru, I think, because I don't think he has the cross dog suit currently. And I know I did find one of those. So, 30th of December, almost the end.
Hey, it's me. Can I talk to you?
Well, Garisu's always ready to talk to Yukari. Surprised the door didn't go right into her face there.
I have good news. Aigis is coming back today.
Finally! Now we can finally get her levels caught up.
Mitsuru Senpai said her wounds have finally healed. We're meeting in the lounge tonight. Don't forget, okay? See ya!
Yukari and Canon, completely happy that Aigis is coming back. Yukari and Fanon, completely 100% jealous of Aigis and wants the protagonist all to herself. Yeah. Admittedly, that does have some basis, but not now. Definitely not now. So we can look forward to Aigis coming back tonight, which is really great because hopefully we're able to go to Tartarus. If we're not, I'm going to be annoyed and I'm going to have to reload my earlier save. And you're not saying anything different, and it looks like I'm pretty sure everyone should be saying the same. Yeah, I think everyone's saying the same stuff. I thought you'd be saying something new though, and that's all. And you're not saying anything new. Anything on TV? Oh, another one of Trish's Who's Who. I thought the last one was the last, actually. A man in his 30s who dresses in very stylish suits. Is this who I think it is? Maybe. I'm actually not sure. Actually, this is Katsuya Suo, the brother of Tatsuya. And yes, he's a policeman. Well, there's only a few days left this year, so it's kind of going to be hard to do that. We will certainly get rid of it next year, though. As early in next year as we can. So, we're going to be seeing the Gourmet King again. And I suppose tonight I'll... Actually, wait, I won't do my usual pre-full moon Social Link wrap-up, because tomorrow we still have Social Link time, and guess who we're seeing again? If you said the Gourmet King, you'd be right, because this is pretty much all we're doing at this point. I mean, I guess we aren't really able to see Mitsuru now, and she's one of the only other school Social Links we have. So, Nozomi is really the only person that we can actually hang out with at this point in the game. I knew we'd be going to Wild Duck Burger sooner or later. It was like the one restaurant that we hadn't hit up, although restaurant is definitely a bit of a stretch. Are we even going to make it to Wild Duck Burger? Didn't that happen earlier on? Well, this clearly isn't good. What were you talking about there? I am kind of confused, but I guess that's right. I mean, if he hates his tutor. But something about the way that he worded that didn't sound all that good. Yes, we'll totally back him up, even though we have no idea what he's saying. Not sure why that person even gave Nozomi money to pay for his son's tutor in the first place. Unless they somehow know each other or are related somehow. Because it feels strange that you just give a random high school student money to pay for the tutoring of someone that he doesn't know. Huh. Well, I kind of figured he had a brother who died. He was only in elementary school. Oh. That's definitely stretching it. Well, that doesn't sound good. Garisu realizes there might be something dark going on with Nozomi behind the scenes. But tonight it's time to celebrate because finally, she's back.
I'm back, everyone. Sorry to have worried you all.
Man, I'm glad to see you. I was getting nervous.
Me too. I was fearing the worst. I'm a machine, so I can always be rebuilt. Even if I was completely destroyed, the programming data necessary to recreate me would still exist.
Hey, don't talk about yourself like that.
They said another week would be required for a complete recovery, but I had the process expedited. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve.
I'm sorry for all the trouble I've caused. Mitsuru-san visited me at the lab and told me everything. That must have been difficult for you all to hear. Have you been well? I mean, considering the circumstances. I'm sorry. It's because I wasn't strong enough. 10 years ago, what I did to you was... But... if I hadn't done that to you, you wouldn't be suffering like this. Ryoji has presented you with a difficult choice. Have you made your decision? I have a favor to ask of you. Tomorrow, when Ryoji comes, please kill him. I can't bear to see everyone hurting like this. Please choose to have your memories erased, even if it means forgetting everything and everyone.
I guess, what are you talking about?
Yeah, this isn't like you.
What's wrong, I guess?
Why? Why did I come back here? My mission is to protect humanity from shadows. But now I know that I can't defeat them. So then, why am I here? I'm useless. I cannot even shed a tear for you all. Oh, I guess. Why fight when you know that you can't win? What is the purpose of that? Why are you wasting your lives?
We're not wasting our lives. We're just planning for the future, right, Ken?
Right.
I don't understand. It must be because I don't possess a life.
This has nothing to do with having a life.
I'm a machine. A machine that was created to protect humans from shadows. But I can't fulfill that mission with the powers I was given. So then, what is my purpose now? Could someone please tell me?
We don't know the answer, Aigis. The only one who can tell you what your purpose is you. That's why we're having such a hard time making our decision. There's just no easy answer. But as long as we're alive, we have to do something. When we see others hurting, we want to help them. So that's our purpose.
Can finding one's purpose really be so simple?
When I saw you collapse, I realized something. I want to protect you. I don't want to forget about you.
Fuka-san. There are times when you will lose sight of your goal, and you will have to search for it. But if you can't find it again, then you must set your heart on a new goal. To truly live, you will need to make changes sometimes.
Do you think I can do that? Do you think I can change?
Yes. I mean, you've changed so much already. Haven't you noticed? In fact, you're changing even as we speak. I know what my purpose is. I'm a machine who is here to live. And the one who has given me this new purpose is me.
Aigis.
This is the promise I've made to myself. I don't know how I'll do it, but I guess that is part of living, too. Will you allow me to join with you all?
Of course! You've always been one of us.
Thank you. I will be with you all, no matter what happens.
By finding a new purpose, Aigis attains her ultimate persona, Athena. And as an echo of her character development, Aigis' role in battle changes quite dramatically when she acquires her persona upgrade. Firstly, I'll mention that she now nulls Pierce attacks, making her the only party member to nullify a physical element, which is quite useful. It makes her especially good at fighting enemies with Tetrakarn, because you can just put her on rush mode to have her rebound her own attack harmlessly onto herself, and get rid of the enemy's reflects. But it's in two new skills that she never got anything even remotely resembling in her previous persona, that are where her true new value lies. She now gets Dia Rahan and Summer Rakam. Now, a lot of party members get Dia Rahan, but this is the first time that Aigis has had access to healing. It really does benefit her role as a tank. She can heal herself back to full, or help out allies if there's not much she can do offensively. It also gives her something else to do if you put her on heal/support, and she's already fully buffed the party. Something that I also find very useful about Aigis getting Dear Rahan is that she's a very good person to request healing from in Tartarus. Main reason being, Aigis doesn't really need her SP anywhere near as much as the other healers in the party, so it's less of a big deal to have her spend some casting Dear Rahan on everyone. Whereas with someone like Yukari, if you're having her request healing, you're going to be cutting in on her main offensive abilities as well. Summer Rakan, though, is quite unique, as the only other party members to get that are Yukari and Ken, the two primary healers. This is always extremely useful, especially when we're approaching the very end of the game, where enemies get a lot tougher and you're going to have to deal with your party members being KO'd much more often. So, full revival really helps. However, Aigis' newfound healing skills are both a blessing and a curse. The curse being, Aigis is now much more vulnerable to charm than she ever was before. Previously, Aigis was one of the best characters to use against enemies with charm, because it wasn't that big a deal if she got hit by it. Now, she can potentially heal the enemy to full HP, and this is very bad against bosses that have charm attacks. If you're bringing Aigis to bosses with charm now, you really want to invest in some charm protecting items. Those come from the hard items of Narcissus and Abaddon. Seriously, this is a major warning. A certain something is coming up that's infamous for this, and it can cause major frustration and tears if Aigis ends up healing them. Other than healing, Aigis gets 2 new physical attacks in the form of the 2 most powerful strike attacks in the game, God's Hand for massive single target damage, and Akasha Arts, which you probably already know how terrifying that move is in the hands of the enemy. Now we get someone who learns it on our side. Overall, Aigis still plays the role of a tank and physical attacker. She's just become a lot more versatile now, especially in the support department. She can now buff and heal, and it's great to have someone with high endurance who can do those 2 things very well. So now is a great time to be using her. Aigis' actual persona, well, its mythology should be fairly obvious. Athena is one of the major Greek gods, the goddess of wisdom and warfare, which fits with her chariot arcana here. Athena was known to be slow to anger, and she'd only fought if it was for just reasons, which in a lot of ways does fit Aigis. And speaking of which, you might notice the shield on Athena's design in this game. That is based off of Athena's actual shield from Greek mythology, which was known as the Aegis, which is what Aigis gets her name from. If you look closely at it, which is easier to do with the in-game model than it is with the art here, you can see the face of a Gorgon on the shield. That's because the Aegis was said to have a Gorgon's severed head on it. As a final note, the symbolism of Aigis' persona evolution when compared to her character development is very obvious. Her previous persona was based off of a statue of Athena. It's now evolved into the real Athena, which, like I said, the symbolism here should be obvious. So, not only is Aigis back, but she has a new persona too. Yeah, that does make sense. You might have noticed she was using contractions a lot less in her dialogue there. I mean, a lot more. I suppose so. In fact, you'll probably be able to talk to her even better. You kind of said that before, didn't you? So yeah, she's certainly grown a lot. Yeah, very different. Yeah. I like how Junpei in a lot of ways was the instigator of that as well. It was just the way that he basically was the one to give the best life advice, essentially. It just really shows how far he's come since the start of the game. And with that, please tell me we're able to go to Tartarus tonight. Yes, we are. Okay, that's good. Also, we can check everyone's status to see... I guess we'll have quite a bit of catching up to do, but... Where are you? You should be close to here. Please tell me you're here. Please tell me you're here. Yeah, there she is. Okay, she's level 55. She's got a little bit of catching up to do. But yes, she has awakened to her new persona, Athena. She doesn't have any of the unique skills, though, that she gets from this upgrade just yet. That'll be right after Marakukaja, but they'll be coming quite quickly. And I am looking forward to her getting more of those full party buffs, too. And I'm gonna be needing to give her the lightning gloves soon, because I'll be getting a second one of them from Thor. So anyway, I'll be saving now, and we'll be going back into Tartarus just once to get Igus caught up with the rest of the party, and also to complete that fusion request from Elizabeth, that one for fusing Lilith with Mabufudine. After that, it'll be time for the big decision. So, I will see you then.